Welcome to IndieCapitol. I'm Pamela Nash, and this is Spencer Johnson of Skyrocket Productions. Welcome to our show.
Thank you.
So I want to talk about the Reel Independent Film Extravaganza.
Okay.
This is not your typical film festival. You have a focus on local artists, on emerging artists, on up-and-coming artists. What would you say is the benefit of that type of a focus?
Well, the focus is independent. We had to decide early on, are we trying to become Hollywood or are we independent? And if we break into Hollywood, fine. And we came to the latter conclusion. And that being said, incorporating as many independent people in as many different arenas as possible, bring the festival to bear is an important thing. It stresses using an independent art house theater. It stresses making it available to independent and emerging artists around the world.
And what made you decide to create this film festival?
I saw a need locally initially, and then we were blessed enough to have it go international, that in DC there was not a venue that I could see where there was a true collaborative spirit. There was too much of a spirit of competition, rather than we're a bunch of independent people who need to forge our own way, because our competition is to compete for the marketplace that Hollywood monopolizes, not to compete with each other and cannibalize ourselves.
What would you say is the general feeling of the DC film community? How would you describe it?
Evolving. Evolving. It's evolving to a place where there is more cooperation. There's still work, I think, to be done in that area, but people are recognizing that we have skilled people here. And the best way to succeed is to meld skills rather than compete with skills.
And what advice would you have for a filmmaker that's submitting to Reel Independent Film Extravaganza? What would improve their chances of getting selected?
Submit the film. We have a jury that selects the films and actually selects the awards for the films, but my notice to all people of creativity, whether it be film or books or poetry or anything, is that nobody is a loser unless they don't create the vision that they've been given to create. So even if you're not selected for Reel Independent Film Extravaganza, it doesn't mean your film wasn't good. It means that it didn't match what we thought we might be able to best program this year. People need to not look at anything that they put down as their creative effort as a potential failure, because it wins by virtue that they had the guts to do it.
We've spoken to a lot of people this season who are career changers or career switchers, or they're part-time filmmaker, part-time day job. You're a doctor of psychiatry, which is an MD. Does that give you any particular insight into people's characters or how to deal with people that have helped you in making films?
It gives me an understanding of people. I understand why people need to compete. I understand why people ought to cooperate, because you can get so much more with cooperation than you can with competition. Running a film set is like doing group therapy, so the same skill sets that apply to doing a therapy group are really managing a film set of any size. And it gives me insight when I'm reading characters. I'm able to try to create backstories of those characters to see what motivates them to do what they're doing in the script.
Let's talk about your current project, The Henchman's War. How did you get involved with this project?
Anthony, in becoming the programmer and producer of the Reel Independent Film Extravaganza, had Henchman's close to being finished, and asked for some, not assistance, but asked for some input into it, and I said we'd be glad to do it, and looked at it. It's an excellent film, and helping it be all that it can be as a film. That's how we got involved with that.
This world we inhabit is not fit for men with souls. It is no place for lovers or men who regret.
Folks are talking, saying there's a price on it.
And I'm at the least a bit concerned about you showing up on my doorstep.
A lot can happen in 48 hours. Empire can fall. Empire can rise.
Joe King's been living under my thumb for over the last 20 years with Cubby's protection.
You wouldn't take a man's life without my blessing, would you?
Because this coat's hit, I finally have a chance. I gotta do it before the smoke clears.
Joe King and I met at a strange time in both our lives. We both had decisions to make, which in hindsight would lead us right back to where we started.
This is your life, our life! No matter how old or tired you are, you lay in this bed until the morning you don't wake up.
Let me talk about some of your previous projects. Coffin, tell us about the development of that.
Coffin was produced, well, it was introduced to us by a guy named Kip Tribble out in Los Angeles that partner Dave Stever had been networking with for over a decade. And he was an assistant producer, what did we call him, associate producer? One of the two on Safe House. He did our Los Angeles casting for that. So when it was time to do another movie, he wrote the script for Coffin.
Oh, God. I can't breathe. Where are we?
No, hold up. Okay, I got it.
Oh, my God. Help us!
That is a live feed from a video camera that I've placed in your wife's coffin. You have less than 75 minutes to do exactly what I tell you to do. And save your wife and her lover before their oxygen runs out. So what do I do? Let's go for a drive.
What is going on? I just need your help, okay? I'm in a jam. We're friends, but I could lose my job over this. Just tell me what you can do for me. 550,000, but it's not gonna hit until morning.
Once I have the money, then I will tell you where your wife is.
Connect me with the police department.
Help!
500,000, and he said he'd pay me back in the morning.
So he'll be back for the money?
He'll be back in a few minutes.
Everybody, stay cool. Which way did he go?
The whole time you were trying to drug me in the bar, your poor little wife was trying to keep her head above water.
He's got a gun pointed at your head! Go!
Tell me about Safe House. Was that a same process or a different process?
Safe House, Dave Stever, member of Skyrocket Productions. At that time he wasn't. He had written the script. I had talked to him way back in 2000 about Safe House. And I promised him that before the end of the decade we would get it done. So when was that? July of 2000, June or July of 2007, we shot Safe House. Without going into detail, there were some missteps in that production. One of the producers actually abandoned, the producer of the production abandoned the production. So we had to spend July regrouping, and in August we pulled in local talent. Thomas Calabro from Melrose Place came in from California, and Robert Miano, who was in Donnie Brasco, came in as well, and we shot them out in 2 days each, and got the film finished.
The Federal Reserve, they put money into the Pentagon. The Pentagon trickles it down to the military payroll accounts. 2.6 billion.
If they do have the drive, then we gotta get out of here.
We don't know that they have it. They didn't find it. It's either at the bottom of the bay or this ex-agent has it. We have to do it by tonight.
If that's our deadline, then we might as well quit now. We're never gonna get past the firewall without the software.
Where'd you get it? Take the boy out of the FBI, but you can't take the FBI out of the boy.
They found him. He's dead.
Did they find the drive?
Federal agents, open the door!
What's going on? Who was that guy and who is she?
She's FBI.
Well, what drive was that guy talking about?
Need that transfer intercepted.
I need to talk to you. I have the drive.
What?
They're stealing military payroll from the Federal Reserve.
You're in by default at this time.
Look at you, acting all tough.
Drop it.
What projects do you have coming up next?
Well, this show is a project of Skyrocket Productions. We have Thick, Cheryl is co-directing, and it will debut at Reel Independent Film Extravaganza. We're in collaboration with other filmmakers and scriptwriters both here and within the Eastern Coast region to look at their scripts and lend production assistance or full production force behind their films.
And what are you looking for from external? If somebody approaches you and says, will you make my film, what are some of the things you look for?
It has to be able to be made with our production budget in point, which realistically for low-budget independent filmmakers, low budget not being synonymous with low quality, but to make it a high quality, low budget independent film, it needs to be budgeted around $140,000 to be guaranteed that it will make some money to go ahead to fuel the next project. That said, somebody shouldn't send me something that has a lot of explosions, something that requires Martians landing on the moon, or anything that requires extensive animation work of any type. It should be something that's drama and character driven with minimal special effects.
Do you have any preference for what types of genres that people might submit?
We have developed a niche for ourselves in the action thriller genre. With Anthony's film, we have the crime drama, the psychological thriller. I want a faith-based film. That's what I'd like to produce in 2014. I think we have tentative plans to open up to a screenwriters competition of sorts where we'll solicit scripts of that genre and pick one or two that are producible based on our budget limitations.
And would that be in connection with the Reel Independent Film Extravaganza, or would that be a separate competition?
No, that would be within Skyrocket. Skyrocket will put out the word that that we're looking for scripts in this genre, and we'll look at them and see what we get.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you
for your time this afternoon. For IndieCapitol, I'm Pamela Nash, and this is Spencer Johnson of Skyrocket Productions.